everybody. Today we're going to be covering on another topic, constant total. So actually constant total is again another ratio question, and we're going to be applying a similar technique as based on our previous video on external. So why is it called constant total? This means that we have a total value that remains constant despite whichever part of the question we are talking about. Daniel, Fred and George all bought a gift. Daniel paid half of Fred and George, while Fred paid 1/3 of Daniel and George. We notice that we are actually comparing between one person to the other two, one person again with the other two. If we know we can compare Daniel to Fred and George, we can actually compare Daniel to the total sum of money as well. Same for Fred, comparing to Daniel and George, we can also compare Fred to the total. This is because they paid the same total amount of money. It didn't change between these 2 points. So therefore, we can write a simple ratio to compare all of it. And we have 2 cases. We know that Daniel paid half of Fred and George. Our instinct is to go and write this. 1:2 between Fred and George. We can do so. However, we eventually want to go and split the values between Fred and George as well. So instead, our main focus here shouldn't just be between the 3 of them, but the constant total. So that's why we're going to be focusing on writing another total here. Giving us 1:2:3. Same for the second case as well. We were comparing Fred to Daniel and George. Fred in this case will be 1 part, while Daniel and George is 3. We write the 1 for Fred first, but we notice that we don't have the value for Daniel and George. It's not easy to write the 3 between these 2 parts. The main portion here is the total amount. The total between both of them is 1 plus 3, which is 4. From here, remember, total stays the same in both cases. Hence, we need to go and write a new ratio. Times 4 times 3. After multiplying these values, we have a new set of ratios. And with a new set of values now, 4:8 between both of them, but mainly focus on the total, which gives us 12. While Fred, 1 multiplied by 3, we get 3 for Fred, and we have 12 for the total. So previously, if we have multiplied these 2 by 4, we have gotten 8 for between Fred and George. However, in my second part over here, I already found out that Fred is 3 units. So all I need to do is to split this 8 into 2 sections, 3 and 5. Oh, I have the value for George now. And in this case, we have the ratio 4:3:5. It will be the same for both as well, since Daniel and George's value also stays the same. So 5 and 4. And we already provided that your George paid $50. Since George paid $50 and he paid a total of 5 units in this case, 5 units is now equals to 50, where 1 unit equals to 10. If we know that 1 unit equals to 10, we can find the total cost of the gift, because the total, which we also counted here, is 12. 12 units equals to 120. So always remember, the main goal of how you use a constant total will be if we manage to see that the total maintains the same, and we use ratio to force the total to become the same, allowing us to determine the units for each term inside the question.